The Seaman's Dream. Once upon a time, in a small coastal village nestled between rugged cliffs and the endless sea, lived a young man named Elias. His family was poor, surviving on the meager income his father earned as a fisherman. The sea was both their provider and their tormentor. It gave them fish to sell, but it also took away their peace during storms. Despite this, Elias loved the ocean. He would sit on the rocky shore for hours, watching the waves crash and imagining himself sailing across the horizon, exploring distant lands. Elias dreamed of becoming a seaman, not just a fisherman confined to the shores of his village, but a sailor who could navigate the vast, open waters. He wanted to feel the salt spray on his face, to chart courses by the stars, and to see the world beyond the confines of his small village. But dreams like his seemed impossible for a boy with no money, no education, and no connections. Captain Arlo's arrival. One day, as Elias was mending his father's fishing nets, an old sailor named Captain Arlo arrived in the village. Captain Arlo was a seasoned seaman with a weathered face and a heart full of stories. He had sailed to far-off ports, battled storms, and even glimpsed the wonders of the tropics. Elias listened to the captain's tales with wide-eyed wonder, and when the old man noticed the boy's fascination, he asked, "Do you dream of the sea, lad?" Elias replied, "More than anything, but I have no way to make it happen." Captain Arlo said, "The sea doesn't care if you're rich or poor, boy. It only cares if you're brave and willing to work hard. If you're serious, I could use a cabin boy on my ship. The pay is small and the work is tough, but it's a start." Elias's heart leapt with hope. He begged his parents to let him go, and though they were reluctant, they saw the fire in his eyes and agreed. With nothing but a small bundle of clothes and his determination, Elias boarded Captain Arlo's ship, the Silver Gull, and set sail for the first time. Life at sea was a mix of hard work and wonder for Elias. He scrubbed decks, hauled ropes, and learned the ways of the sailors. Yet every night as he lay in his small bunk, he dreamed of the adventures that lay ahead. The vast ocean stretched out before him, full of possibilities, and Elias knew that this was just the beginning of his journey. Life at sea was grueling. Elias worked from dawn until dusk, scrubbing decks, hauling ropes, and learning the ropes of navigation. He faced storms that made him question his courage and moments of homesickness that made him doubt his choices. But he never gave up. He studied the stars, learned to read maps, and practiced tying knots until his hands were raw. Captain Arlo became his mentor, teaching him the ways of the sea and encouraging him to keep going. Years passed, and Elias grew into a skilled sailor. He saved every coin he earned, dreaming of the day he could buy his own ship. One day, the Silver Gull docked in a bustling port city, and Elias heard whispers of a small, old ship for sale. It was in poor condition, but it was affordable. With Captain Arlo's guidance, Elias purchased the ship, which he named the Dreamer. Elias's success. Restoring the Dreamer was no easy task. Elias worked tirelessly, repairing the hull, replacing the sails, and gathering a crew of fellow dreamers who believed in his vision. When the ship was finally ready, Elias stood on the deck, feeling the wind in his hair and the salt on his lips. He had done it. He was no longer a poor boy from a fishing village. He was a captain, a seaman, and a dreamer. Elias and his crew sailed to distant lands, trading goods, exploring new cultures, and living the life he had always imagined. He never forgot his humble beginnings, and he often returned to his village to share his stories and inspire others to chase their dreams. And so, Elias proved that no dream is too big, no ocean too wide, and no obstacle too great for those who dare to believe. The sea had called to him, and he had answered not as a poor man, but as a seaman who had claimed his destiny.